Brock Lesnar just beat John Cena like he was playing a video game. He just kept storing up his finishers, one after the other, 6 F5s to John Cena, and then just an easy pin. I would have been surprised if John would have kicked out, but yeah, no, it was overkill at best. And look, I don't know what this means for John Cena's retirement tour. He has 5 more appearances. And I have a feeling another Brock Lesnar match is going to be mixed in there. But welcome back to the PiscesDeadPeople Die Weekly Podcast. We here at the PDPDW say, if you enjoy these, leave a like. Also, comment down below and leave your opinion on my opinion. And while you're at it, be sure to devil kiss that subscribe button and clock that bell to keep up with new episodes. We had Wade Barrett come back a lot quicker than I thought. And then Pat McAfee on top of that. Let's just say that kind of superseded Wade Barrett coming back. But hey, it's ESPN. It's football season. Why would Pat McAfee not come back? So it was nice to see them come back. Nice to see his charm on the headset again. Nice to see Wade Barrett back though. I'd kind of missed him. You know, I enjoyed Corey Graves, but it seemed like they were having trouble filling the spots. But other than that, the entrance of just seeing Pat McAfee really did light up the whole room before we got into our Brock Lesnar versus John Cena match, where Brock Lesnar just absolutely dominated John Cena. And he got Paul Heyman to do his intro, which, you know, was kind of nice to see. It's kind of a good old throwback, but still makes me wonder, you know, is Seth going to say anything about that? Is it going to be Brock, you know, he's going to be able to call on Paul Heyman anytime he wants to? I don't know. But when we get down to it, the Brock Lesnar versus John Cena match was just like a video game. It was not, like, it wasn't even fair. I didn't know what to think about it after the 4th F5. But once he got to the 5th F5 and then the 6th F5 and then pinned him and then hit him with a 7th F5, I didn't expect to see John Cena even get up. I thought it was going to put him down for the rest of his tour, but it looks like that's not the case, obviously. But he has his 5 appearances. I do wholeheartedly believe one more Brock Lesnar versus John Cena match will probably happen. If it doesn't, then oh well, I guess that just ends that story. You know, everybody wants a final shot with John Cena, and it looks like John Cena was willing to oblige. And it was definitely a surprise to see Brock Lesnar come back with the allegations or maybe even convictions. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't look into that. I just know I've heard certain things of people being upset why he's back. But regardless of all the personal behind the scenes stuff, Brock Lesnar did win that match. And it led into the second match, The Vision versus the Usos. And we had a little bit of a change to it at the last minute. We have a special guest referee, LA Knight, which really made this my favorite match. Not just LA Knight specifically, but the back and forth whenever Braun Breaker and LA Knight would kind of get face to face and start butting heads. You'd have a Braun Breaker start doing the pointing with a goofy face, and then LA Knight would do the dumb looking face, shaking his head back and forth. Yeah, I was happy with that. And then Bronson Reed with the steel chair outside. LA Knight's like, no, you're not gonna hit Jimmy with that, nah. And then Jimmy winds up getting the chair. LA Knight looks at him and is like, whatever, and he turns away. I was happy with that, but it looks like it turned into just a free for all. Regardless of what LA Knight said, like, hey, don't do that, don't do it again. It's like he didn't care. Personally, though Jimmy was the only one that he trusts in there, he didn't care what happened one way or another, obviously, because he wound up giving the 3 count to the Vision. Regardless of how he feels about the Vision, he did play referee a lot more fair than some people did in the past. So, with that being said, the Vision did win. LA Knight did not raise Bronson Reed's hand like he wanted him to, but I believe that's going to wind up leading either into more Jay and LA Knight drama or more just LA Knight being like, I want a Braun, I want LeBron, I don't care. One of those kind of things. But it was a good match. I was happy with that match. It was actually my favorite match of the night. Not to say any other match was better or worse. That was just personally my favorite because of a few key moments. But we did get to see the vacant Women's World Championship finally get won by Stephanie Vacour. And I thought that was going to happen, considering that she was in the initial match with Naomi. So, I figured they would keep her as the winner because she was going to participate in either match anyway. So I wouldn't have been upset if Io would have won, but this was a very crafty match. A lot of reversals, a lot of technician type stuff. Yeah, good job, girls. I was very happy, and it's just the most respectful match of the night too. To see Io bow to Stephanie, and then to see Stephanie hug her at the end. It was just really wholesome. I was happy with that, but it does make me wonder that I believe there are two options as to who Stephanie will go up against next, at least for the Women's Championship. We might have some just regular singles matches, non-title shots in between, but I can definitely see either Asuka jumping in, like Asuka will be in the back, like scolding Io and being like, "Hey, you didn't do this and you didn't do that and you lost, and then Stephanie's gonna step in and be like, "Hey, back off." No. I don't know what the exact dialogue's going to be, but it might lead into Asuka trying to challenge her for it. Or Nikki Bella might just be like, "Hey, Stephanie, you know how you love me and I love you. You should give me a shot at that title." So I think it's either going to be Asuka or Nikki Bella next for that Women's Championship, which, Stephanie's going to take it either way, I feel like. It's Stephanie. It's definitely time to put the spotlight on Stephanie. Speaking of putting the spotlight on Stephanie, we got the news later in the night that Stephanie McMahon is the first official nomination for the 2026 Hall of Fame. So good for you, Stephanie. You've stuck through changes, through everything else, through things that were the wrenches that were thrown at your old man, to your husband being called this and that. Like you've stuck through. You have your own podcast. People love and adore you. You deserve it, Stephanie. So good job, Miss McMahon. I look forward to seeing you get in the Hall of Fame. We got to see the CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch match, which was just the most personal, the most personable match of the night. I could not look. We got to see women attack men, men attack women. People just look, and I'm most confused. When did it turn into a tornado tag? Because it started off with people tagging in and out, and then it towards the end of the match, we got the ref counting pinfalls. Whenever it's like CM Punk and it pins Seth Rollins, 1, 2, oh, it kicks out. Then all of a sudden, like 2 seconds later, without a tag, everybody's just in the ring. Oh, Becky pins AJ Lee, 1, 2. Like, why are you counting that? Like, who decided that this was a tornado tag all of a sudden? Now, I mean, regardless of that, that's my only complaint about it, is that, it's like, look, we all know it's predetermined, but, at least the rules are there for a reason. But CM Punk and AJ Lee, they walked away with the win. As I kind of expected it would go down, and that'll line AJ up probably to challenge Becky for the Intercontinental Championship, because that CM Punk and Seth Rollins aren't done feuding. They've been feuding for years now, and it's just recently just gotten bigger and badder and almost, I feel like, to a boiling point. You'd think you've seen the boiling point, but I don't think they've gotten to a boiling point yet. But CM Punk and AJ Lee, they took the win. And our main event of the night, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. I thought Drew was going to take it. I really did. But, of course, the ref got in the way at the end, causing Drew to hurt himself. And I knew once that happened, it was going to go to Cody. But Cody did win. Cody retained the title. And I don't know who he's moving on to next. I was thinking, was Brock Lesnar going to come out? And, he's like, I'm done with Cena, now I'm going for a belt. But, nothing happened. So that just up in the air for what's next for Cody Rhodes. I was happy with WrestlePalooza for it being the first PLE on ESPN. It was phenomenal. It gave you everything that WWE had to offer, all within 5 matches and a few promos. So good job. I was really happy with that. But I do have to just voice my opinion on one thing. I'm not very happy about the decision for WrestleMania in 2027 being in Saudi Arabia. And it's not that I don't like Saudi Arabia or the people in Saudi Arabia, but I do think, I have 3 key reasons. One, it is an American event. It was born and raised here. We're the ones who brought it up, and I don't have anything. It can be outside of America. That's fine. But it's understandable that it's been in Canada, in the USA and Canada this whole time. But I do wholeheartedly believe that one of the first countries that should probably get it outside of the North American region or South American region, it should be a European country, truly. France, London, Germany, any of those that have already had a PLE like that, and any of those who have superstars from their countries that are representing, that could represent their country. The second reason that I don't really want to see Saudi Arabia get Saudi Arabia to get WrestleMania is because you're going to make WrestleMania a part of the Riyadh season. You're going to make it part of the event. WrestleMania is the event. The road to WrestleMania, the build-up, the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber. WrestleMania is the event. You can't just make that part of something. And that just diminishes it. That brings down the quality that people feel about it if you're just like, it's part of a lineup. But regardless, the third and probably one of the most important, if not the most important reason why I think it shouldn't be in Saudi Arabia is there's not a single currently active Saudi Arabian superstar in the WWE. So there's not going to be a single ounce of representation from Saudi Arabia in the company for Saudi Arabia. So why are they getting it first? Just because they paid them a bigger paycheck? I mean, money over fans, I suppose. But that's my 3 main reasons. It can be outside of America, but I think it should go to a country that we have been working with a lot longer in terms of WWE. And that's going to be a European country for sure. And secondly, like I said, how are you going to make it part of an event? It is the event. So, and then like I said, there's not a Saudi Arabian superstar active in the current WWE. So, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm going to quit ranting on about it. I just had to get that off my chest. That's just my thoughts on it. But Raw is right around the corner. I'm looking forward to that. We'll see the aftermath of WrestlePalooza and, of course, SmackDown with Cody Rhodes. So, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you do enjoy these, leave a like. Also, comment down below and leave your opinion on my opinion. And while you're at it, be sure to double kiss that subscribe button and clock that bell to keep up with new episodes. Alright everyone, I'm hopping off here. Peace.